Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to it.
Good morning to the folks. What up to the youngins and bless up to the world.
And then Jay just put your info on blast like that.
It's what the people want to know, bro. My bad.
Nah, bro. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to it. It is the Morning Shake with me, your host, Xavier Hendricks. And of course, I am accompanied by my co-host, Jay Paris.
What's Gucci? What's Gucci? What's Gucci? What's happening, fam bam? Trust you're lit.
Yeah, man. It is the festive season. We're running skeleton staff because some peeps are on holiday, some peeps are all over the place, and so we just gotta keep the party moving. That's what we gotta do. And so we're keeping the show on the road, Jay and I today. Listen, man, of course, because it is December, a lot of people are out, a lot of people are on holiday. We got some staff members coming in through just specially so that you guys can have something to keep you occupied during December. So Jay and I, we're gonna have a dope conversation today. Today we're not going to have necessarily a guest. And listen, on that topic, we're not always going to have a guest, right? And so just be cautious about that. We're not always going to have a guest. Sometimes Jay and I will just go back and forth, have a conversation about a couple of things. It is the Inside Show. It is the Morning Shake with Jay and myself. And so on that note, please hit the subscribe button. Also hit the bell. And let's have that conversation. Jay, you got some interesting things?
Yes, sir. I'm just going through IG, bro. And geez, there's beautiful. There's beautiful woman out here. I know you're married, bro. I know you're married, bro. But like, growing up and so forth on, who's the one celebrity you crushed on?
Yo, growing up, bro, I'll be honest with you. Somebody I really liked.
I'm looking at Leanne Laminia.
Nah, bro. Someone I used to like coming up. I used to watch. There was this show on Nickelodeon, right? So we had DSTV. I used to watch Nickelodeon.
Hannah Montana?
And so no, my bro, not that Hannah Montana. So we had Nickelodeon. And there was this one thing called Cousin Skeeter. Do you remember that show? It was a puppet, and there was this girl on it, and bruh, she had braces and she had a gap like mine, and I always thought, yo, she's so pretty. Turns out later on, yeah, it's Megan Good.
Oh,
so she was. So I was vibing with her like since she was on Cousin Skeeter, since she was like a kid. You guys can Google Cousin Skeeter or YouTube it, you'll see. So I was like, yo, she's so pretty. Then later on, she was in Biker Boys. Then later on, she became who she is today. Everyone knows her. But yeah, that'll probably be my celebrity crush. And you, bro?
Whew. I crushed on who's that chick in Honey? Jessica Alba.
Oh, Jessica Alba.
Yeah.
That was so obvious though. Like a lot of gents like Jessica Alba.
I'm a huge fan of Alicia Keys.
Okay. How are you feeling about the no makeup thing?
It's cool.
Still vibe?
Yeah, I still vibe.
Okay. We are.
I still vibe.
So you got a list though. I never thought that there was this time where Angelina Jolie was a thing. Like everyone was like, I think that I'm a Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
everyone was like,
nah.
yeah. But to me, I was like, yeah, not too. And then there was a time Cindy Crawford was a thing. Like she was, poster girl and this and that. And I was still like, nah, not really.
What do you think about the Kardashians?
To be honest, I was never a Kardashian person.
Me too, bro.
I was never a Kardashian person. So I never used to vibe with Kardashians at all. I didn't watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I didn't vibe with Kardashians at all. At all.
What turns you off though? Like
just with the whole thing.
In general.
Oh, in general, not just with Kardashians.
Yeah, in general.
As far as what, bro?
Just in general, for me personally, if I can give you an EG, yeah. I will crush on these girls and no beef, no judging. This is just me personal preference. The moment I see you with a pipe or something,
and then it switches you off.
It switches me off big time. No beef, and like I'm saying, bro, no beef, no judgment or anything like that.
No beef, no judgment.
No beef. Actually, that chick that I was telling you about, bro.
Yeah.
I saw a story and she had a pipe.
Serious, bro.
Serious.
Alright, so this is the story, right? Jay was kind of like crushing on a chick, and he was actually thinking. I
saw that last night, but I'm like, oh.
He was thinking, oh, she's so pretty, this, that, and the other, and now it turns out that,
Hey, bro.
That's a sad one.
That's sad.
That's a sad one. That's sad. It's a sad situation.
But it's all good though. It's all good. I don't judge or anything like that.
So what you gonna do? You still gonna pursue? Are you still thinking about it?
Damn, this is actually a weird convo to have because I got a few that if they watching,
It might throw them off. All right, okay, cool. Let's
Yeah.
let's kill that convo. Let's get into the topic of today. Today we are speaking just social media fame. Are you chasing the dragon? What is it all about? And so not too long ago we had a guest in the studio. Well, you guys know as Ombiza, and we were speaking about how to actually turn actual social media, presence into something that makes real change. So when I say that, I mean like taking something that you're not just having likes or comments or that, but actually taking that influence that you have on. So because you call yourself an influencer, taking that influence and turning it into something tangible. Like if you're trying to make a difference in someone's life, if you're going to turn it into feeding people, if you're going to turn it into money, how are you going to do that? If you're going to turn it into assisting people in some sort of way, then at least it's meaningful. It's not just a matter of like, yo, I'm famous, I got a blue tick next to my name, and that's kind of where it ends. And I think we all have this journey where we go on, where we want to be social media famous. And it looks glamorous, it looks nice. You see people, they have 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 followers, 1 million followers, they got the blue tick. And you see that when this person comes into a room, everyone has to take pictures with them. And to a certain extent, there's something inside of you that wants that also. You want that notoriety, or, that like, oh, they know me, the clout, And my journey has kind of shifted over time. There was a time where I wanted the clout. There was a time I had a little bit of clout.
Big time.
Where I would walk into a space and people would recognize me, or people would know who I was, or drive through, people would greet me and all that kind of thing. And then I had to actually sit down and ask myself, yo, is it about the clout? Where are we going with this? Like, what's the deal here? I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
Nah, I think to put it plain and simple, we grow up. We grow up. I mean, I had a conversation with one of my friends now the other day, and he was asking me, back to the girl topic. He was asking me, what do you think about this girl and this girl and this girl? And back then, like in school days, you would want to be seen with these particular girls. But now growing up, it's like, nah, I don't even think you can have a conversation with this person. I mean, beauty isn't everything if there's no substance. If there's no substance. So I think it's the same with the cloud. I think we all, including myself, we all were on that journey where it was cool to be known.
Like you want to follow a bunch of people. You want your following to show like a dope number or whatever.
You want the blue tick. You want all of that. I mean, post a pic, 3 likes in 15 minutes.
You want to take it down.
Let's take this pic down. We all went through that, bro. But I think as you grow up, there's more to life than
just
clout and so forth. Now it's like, man, I'm searching for peace.
And does that social media sometimes? So this is what happened to me, right? I would sometimes meet people in reality, and then realize their lives or what they portray on social media is very different to how it is in real life. And so I would like sometimes, especially these IG girls, like they would post obviously the pictures of their backsides, pictures of their breasts, in bikinis or in lingerie or whatever. And then online they'd be hitting the 9,000 likes, the 10,000 likes, or and to me, then sometimes I would get to this place where I ask the question, yo, listen, I see all of this, and I agree that you're getting clout, but then in reality, what does that clout mean? Like if a bunch of horny guys are liking your picture, and then what? Like, what's the point?
And does that like validate who you are?
It does bring a sense of validation to the person, fact that people are liking my picture.
Here's the thing, bro. Remember we spoke about this. First, it starts with a cool outfit. You get your likes, but then soon the like starts dropping, and then next thing it's like, maybe I should
Let's say you get that 300 likes. Then you now take something off.
Maybe I should take the jacket off now because those 300 likes are now becoming, boring.
And then you get 500.
Now the jacket's off. Now it's like, yo, then the jacket becomes boring. And I was like, maybe should I take the pants off or the top?
And then it's 1,000 likes.
And then it's 1,000. But then after that, what happens?
Then exactly, and then I think that's
Now
my
you're
point.
naked, and then
2,000 likes. Fine, cool, 100%. You're getting 2,000 likes. Does that translate into fans? Number one, does that translate into having some sort of social media? Does it translate into real life change? Number two is for me. And so on my journey, I was
what are your motives?
Yeah, what's the motive behind it? Okay, cool. You're getting more likes. You have hella followers, and then okay, cool. So I was busy saying that. So I've met these kind of people that have this clout online, and then when I go to their house in real life, they're living with their parents still, in their room, and then it's like, guys, what you showing us online and what's happening in reality are not connected. And then you have people who buy likes and buy followers and buy, comments and you have robots and stuff,
I've went into certain people's profiles like by the following.
And then you just scroll through and then you see those
like,
gray.
who the heck are these people?
And then you go into their profile and then there's like not much going on. But on your journey, you went through we both went through journeys. And that we're still kind of on, but we trying to gauge it. And I think as we mature, we start seeing things in a different way. Your journey, you went through this whole scene of music. What was your outcomes on that, bro? What were you thinking on that journey?
So first and foremost, let me take you back from the beginning. There is a prophecy on my family's life regarding music. I was about 2. My big bro was about 5 when Prophet Ed Trout prophesied music upon my family, and this was going to take place. You're going to, go big with it and so forth on. At the time, he didn't know the specific genre. And for me, I grew up wanting to be a wrestler.
Because you were watching wrestling?
I was watching wrestling. Eddie Guerrero, John Cena, R.I.P. Eddie. He was my favorite wrestler. Then after that, got into football, started playing football. I really wanted to become a professional footballer, play for Liverpool. But then I got injured, which kept me on crutches for about 7 months. And in that period, this is where God started speaking to me. You know what? I want you to go in the music direction. And from there, I started writing music, making music, and so forth on. And I just wanted to pursue it. I just wanted to pursue it and inspire people through the art of making music and so forth on. And it got to a point where, actually there was a point where I wasn't making music and God was like, what's going on now? Get your stuff out. And then it was last year when I actually dropped the 7-track.
So you dropped this, and then we're working on a music video. When did we work on this music video?
This was this year. This was this year. So in COVID.
We dropped it in COVID in August. What was the whole process behind this year? This we did. This was La Vida Loca. This
was in COVID. This was during COVID. So this was. Let me paint the picture for you here, because. What we were doing here, and Uzziah's on this music video as well. What we were doing here, we were painting a picture for ourselves. I mean, growing up, I'm sure you had pictures on the wall of what you want to become, what you want to drive, the cars and all of that. So it wasn't necessarily like flashing. Per se. It wasn't anything of that.
Why did you get people saying that you're trying to flash or what?
Yeah, some people were saying, you're not driving those cars, that's not yours, you're not living in those houses and so forth on. And then, I had to explain, no, this is how you would paint your picture of pictures on the wall. We do it in a more creative way. We do it in a creative way of
making music videos.
Making a music video. Kind of so it's not necessarily flashing or anything like that, but this is just like, not to say the dream, but
it's part of the actual dream.
It would be cool to drive those cars and live in
live this kind of life
and live that.
But what kind of response did you get?
Bro, let me be honest with you. With this video, the favor on this video, bro, was crazy, crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you. This video costed, I think, a Big Mac meal.
A Big Mac meal. Yeah, because we were connected to the right people. I assisted in this video big time as well.
No, big facts. I was gonna get to that as well. I mean, though you're one homie that we initially wanted to go and shoot at.
Yeah, we were supposed to. We were supposed to shoot at a spot, and that didn't pan out. And as we were like kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, like where do we shoot this video? What do we do? Because we already had these plans. We already checked the spot. We already knew where we wanted to shoot. We already tested some shots, some drone shots, a bunch of stuff. Didn't pan out. And then kind of last minute, we had to make some calls. Like, yo, can we use your venue? Can we use your car? Can we this and this? And then one thing led to the other where we were shooting at that house with the BMWs, with the 2 BMWs.
That's what we were initially just gonna shoot there, bro.
We were just gonna shoot there, be done.
And we were cool with it and everything.
Then the homie of that spot called us and he came home because he was at work and he came home, no.
Nah, so this is what happened. Let me explain it, bro. So this is what happened. So we at your homie's house with the Beamers.
Yeah.
The owner of the house is not there with these kids. They at work and so forth on. We're shooting, and now they pull up. The owner pulls up with his son.
Yeah.
We almost done. This was at the Eye of Africa, just by the way. Now we almost done, and the son says, you know what? My girlfriend actually stays up the road.
And she has a Rari.
So initially we wanted to shoot at a dope crib and everything, and we were a bit despondent about that. But then guess what? We got a Rari. we got a Rari.
Yeah, and so she's like, yo, we got a Rari. Do you wanna shoot with that? They're like, yeah, that sounds good. Let's do it. So we drive to this other house, to this house here, and
hey, bro, we pulled up to that spot.
Homie opens up the garage, pull out the Rari, and then we shoot. So we shoot with the 2 Porsches, we shoot with the 2 Beamers, and we shoot with the Ferrari. And so we got that done. Here, there's a shot of the Ferrari. So we get that done. And as you said, the favor just happened on its own. It was like
this is actually a big deal. I mean, people would pay
money to have to rent these cars, to rent
Rari,
these
bro,
houses and that kind of thing. And so I think we probably got a good maybe 50,000-60,000 rand if you had to hire all these things. And look, we had some of our own equipment. Like I had the drone, we had some of the gimbals and stuff. So we had some of our own equipment. Some of the other guys would pull through, like, let me do the photography. Clay helped out with the photography, a bunch of stuff. And, of course, we had this actual song done already. And so it was just a matter of putting, plus we edit by ourselves.
Facts.
We do all those things by ourselves because we have that history of editing and understanding.
And I think that's important. I think with the editing part and so forth on your journey and the come up and so forth on, that is also important when it comes to just taking it to the next step.
Because you know what you're trying to get out of it. You don't have to go and get an editor. You don't have to sit down and explain it.
And a lot of the times, bro, God does take you through journeys, and sometimes you don't understand. Okay, why am I doing videos?
Exactly. And then at some point it pans out. So with me, I had the whole thing where I went into t-shirt printing. Then I was like, oh, what's this all about? And then I went into, again, videos and graphics. And then one of our graphic designers left and I filled that spot. And as it would happen is that a lot of my creative, like where I was starting to get, different sources of income was because I knew how to edit and because I knew how to design graphically and because I knew how to do these things. So sometimes I think the moral of the story or something we could take out of that is like sometimes you're going through certain journeys that you don't understand why you have to go through that journey. But then in the end, that actually somehow pans out. You're like, why is God taking me through this? Why am I struggling with this? Why did I have this argument with that one? Why did that not work out? And then later in retrospect, when you look back, like somebody said 2020 vision is clear. When you look back and then you're like, this is why that didn't work the way it did. This is why, I went into this direction.
But you got to go through it.
But you have to go through it. And the challenge is when you're going through it, it's not fun. It's not fun.
Facts, it's the worst,
it's not fun. So, and then as far as YouTube is concerned, you went into that journey. I went into a separate journey. I went into a whole other journey. I was getting a hella backlash, and with that other conversation with Ash, I was saying that sometimes I got to the point where I didn't even want to read the comment section because the comments were like so negative, people talking smack about me and blah blah blah. On the other hand, I was coming to places, people were like, "Yo, this is the guy that does the factory," blah blah blah. People were getting fired up about it. But be that as it may, I made this analogy where I said, when you're the first person walking through a field where there is no path, you have to create that path. But while you're creating the path, there's blackjack sticking to your pants, there's, branches hitting you in the face, there's things, there might be snakes, there might be whatever. But you create that path, and then later on, when other people walk through that path, or they follow the path long after, and then there's already a path there, so it doesn't look strange, it doesn't look weird. So when other youth groups started doing lights, some of the guys used to come to me and say, like, how do you do this? Please give me jump packs. They used to come here with their hard drives asking for jump packs. Used to come ask me, where do we buy the lights? Where did you guys buy the smoke machines? How did you guys do this and this and this? And at the time, the factory was the largest youth ministry in South Africa, period. There was even the big churches were coming to us asking, yo, how do you? And when I'm talking about the big churches, I'm talking about these churches that are well known, that people know, like, they're on top of the log, as we
and now, now they all got lights.
And they would come to us and say, like, yo, Zakes, how do you do that? And that's how I became friends with a lot of these, these popular pastors, because they would come to me like, yo, dude, we're watching your videos online, we're seeing this, we're seeing that. How are you guys doing it? Needless to say, something that hurts me though is that people would come here like undercover during the week, ask me for jump packs, ask me for stuff, and then go and play it off as their own, and then almost take this shine as if, they're the ones who started the trend and blah blah. And those things used to bother me in the beginning, bro. I used to watch this online and think,
not giving credit.
Yeah, I used to think like, yo, that's homie saw this, was at my office last week asking me for stuff.
Not that you're seeking for it or anything, but to a certain extent,
it's like when I speak about my journey, I mention the people that were part of my journey. I say, I met this person there and they played a big part in my journey. Then I met this person there and I went to that event there. That's why I saw, I always give credit to Matt Putt. I went to the basement. I saw Matt Putt and I spoke to him and he imparted in my life. I give credit to my dad. He gave me a platform to do it. He said, here's a factory, go and start this thing. I give credit to Ron Luce when I went to the Battle Cry and saw what he did. I give credit to people who I know were part of my journey. And then I think that's another part of where I think as our other interview was, the so-called or marginalized colored minority or colored group of people where we don't like giving credit where it's due. We don't like giving you props like, yo, Jay's video. Bro, this video is high quality stuff. The audio is clean, everything's clean. But then you find someone, I don't know what he's trying. Yeah, that's not even his cars. Yeah, whose house were they at? And this and this and this. And it's like, yo, now you're looking down on somebody.
It's usually when you don't know your worth.
When you don't know your worth. And there was a pastor that preached at our church not so long ago, spoke about also that I think he was speaking about Mary and Elizabeth. And he said the reason Elizabeth could support Mary was because she had her own baby.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if you know who you are and you know what you bring to the table, you are confident in your own worth and you can give credit to where it's due. But if you trying to also, if you want what I have, then you're like, I came up with this, I did that. I can tell you where I saw what I saw. And I can tell you without fear or favor that nobody else was doing it the time we were doing it. And I can tell you without fear or favor, a lot of the churches and youth groups that did it saw it from the factory.
Facts, bro. That was in a period where musical chairs were still a thing.
Yeah, people were playing games at their youth on a Friday. They were playing musical chairs, playing, weird games and stuff. And we were having encounters here, bro. People were throwing the cigarettes on stage. Our camera ladies here, she was there when these things were happening. Remember
facts,
that one?
We had the Bryce stand.
That one Friday we had the Bryce stand. People were throwing their drugs into the Bryce stand. We were having genuine encounters while other people were playing games. And playing games and judging what we were doing. Discriminating. Yeah, you people are turning the church into this and this. And then I would sit there, and sometimes it would discourage me. I would go home and think, damn, these people, they're looking frowning upon. But what I didn't realize is there was an element of jealousy because of the success that we had. And so that's where that nastiness came from. It came from, how are you doing it and we struggling? How can you work it but we can't? How are you getting so many people and we not? And that element of jealousy was causing people to be nasty. I remember, bro, going into places where where I would come to an event or a conference or something and come into the church, and then the person preaching, bro, would like say, yeah, you see, because there's some preachers here, they say they preachers, but they turn in the church into a club. And then I would know the homies talking about me. And then people also in the audience. And plus I'm sitting in front, bro. They brought me to the front. I'm sitting there. They brought me water, whatever. I'm sitting there and those homies hitting me, bro. Like, yeah, churches are doing this and this and that. And I know obviously the guy is talking about me. And people are like clapping dance. Yeah, pastor. Yeah. Now I'm sitting there thinking, yo, clearly they know he's talking about me. And he knows he's talking about me.
I remember there was one moment, bro, where like, at this one particular church, bro, I wouldn't say haters or your enemies, but these people that you're speaking about, they were all.
You were there, bro. You were with me.
They were all, but then there was this specific pastor that actually gassed you up, dope on stage, bro. It was wasn't it at
what does he say?
Funeral?
Oh yeah, there was an event we went to. And then there was Pastor Donnie McClurkin, bro.
Yeah.
I spoke, and then he came up. He was like, yo, who's that kid? I haven't heard someone preach like that in a while. Like, yo, that's homie can preach.
But I think that was because
and then all the haters were like, yo.
And they were all there.
They were there. And so there's this international pastor, Donnie McClurkin, a famous pastor, came from overseas for this thing. And he's the one that says, yo, he says on my name, he's like, yo, Xavier, you can preach, boy. That's exactly what he said.
Facts.
And so I'm sitting there like, yo, he's saying this while, and that scripture became reality in my life. Like, he prepares a table before you in the presence of you. Like, I knew people that didn't like me. And then the person that they looking up to is like,
he's like juices you up and says, yo.
Yeah.
But I think that's because of your preaching style and so forth, on the fact that you add the drama and you made it relevant to the youth.
Exactly.
You made it relevant. How important is that though?
To make it relevant is massively important. That's why young people say, I don't like church because it's boring and the pastor, I'm falling asleep while he's talking about. So we would have things where we would have the dramas popping, like we're talking about love or whatever, then I'll be like, so if imagine you walking here and you see a sexy lady and blah blah, and I would say the things that the young people say because that's how they speak. So I said, don't look at me with those holy eyes, you know this is what you do. Because facts. I would know that after factory I would walk while the guys are busy, they'd be listening to this music and I would see them listening to it, or I would see on IG or Facebook or whatever, they were at this event, at that event. Then I would know that, so this is what you're doing in your spare time, let me speak to you the language you would understand. And I would speak to them the stuff that I knew they would understand. And that's what made them say, yo, hi, this guy is speaking the truth.
Bro, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I wouldn't want to say that the vehicle, the faction and so forth on died out. But spiritually, bro, truth be told, and everyone here as well can agree. Everyone, from Michaela to Clayton to Chloe, everyone here can agree. When the factory was up and running, bro, our spiritual life and spiritual levels were on 100. 100. It was.
And the truth is, when it stopped, a lot of the people fell away. The truth is, when it stopped, I saw on social media, these guys are drinking, these guys are sitting and smoking pipe, these ones are at this event, this one's at that event, this one's drunk there, this one's there and there. And then it's people that were on our teams, people that were part of what we were doing, people that...
But why did that vehicle slow down,
that
though,
were at rehearsals. And I think Matt Butt always used to say this. He said, Satan is sitting somewhere waiting with a big bucket of water, waiting just to throw it on your fire. And at a certain spot somewhere, Satan threw a bucket of water on my fire, bro. And I knew it. I felt it in my heart. I felt like, oh, I don't know what to do anymore. I felt like drained. I felt depressed. I knew like I'm stuck. I knew I was stuck. But that came from different angles. Number one, it came from the fact that I wasn't as young as I was when I started. Number two, I got married. I got kids. So my focus shifted to different things. Number three, the negativity somehow got to me. Number four, I started not being as brave as I was in the beginning, where I would say things and not worry who thinks whatever. I started like second guessing what I was saying. I started thinking, if I say that, it's going to cause this kind of issue. Let me not say that. Let me back down from this. Let me keep quiet here. And when that started happening is when I kind of shriveled into a corner, and I just went quiet. And to be honest with you, to get out of that corner, for anyone with mental illness or anyone suffering from depression, you know, bro, to get out of that corner is a nightmare. It's like, how do I get myself out of this? I didn't know how to get myself out of it. I thought, let me get back to the basics of what I know to be true. Let me just read my Bible again. Let me just get spiritually strong again. Because not so long ago, Carl Lenz, one of Hillsong's biggest pastors, he messed up and he made a quote on his IG, and he says he was leading from an empty place. And I think a lot of preachers need to come to the point where they admit sometimes they lead from an empty place. They know what to say to get the people shouting. They know how to say it because you've been doing it for a long time. But then you personally are not spending the amount of time you should be spending in prayer. You're not spending the amount of time you should be spending with your Bible. You're not doing the things you did in the beginning. And I think the Bible says it like this. I can't remember where it is, but it says, where is your first love? Where's that initial spark that you had when you got excited about this thing? And at some point you get used to it and it starts dwindling away. And that's where, you know, Satan steps in and makes use of the opportunity, and all sorts of things start becoming more important than what you were doing. And I think that happened to me, if I be honest with you.
But I don't think this whole thing is like a once was or so for long, because we were actually on our way to doing the dome this year.
Yeah, and so we were on our way to doing the dome this year before COVID happened, and the response was insane. I remember going to Northwest for a different event, and then somebody walked up to me, someone that I don't know, like, yo, Zach, I bought tickets for me and my whole team. It's such a pity that COVID happened. And that moment God told me, what Satan is trying to tell you is that you're irrelevant, you don't know what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, there are still people out here like, yo, we literally waiting when is something. They were sitting there waiting like, yo, when are we doing something again? We're waiting for something to happen. And Satan will preach to you that you're irrelevant, you don't have it anymore, you're not who God says you are.
And I know that, bro.
And it's sad, and it gets to you. If you don't watch yourself, you can fall for it.
Nah, big facts, bro. I got beef with God now and then, bro. It's like God says do one thing, you do it, but then nothing really, happens after that. So it's like, yo, but you gave me this vision in the first place. What's going on?
What's going on? And sometimes God takes you through these journeys where you have to learn things. So he takes you into a season of cover. Where you, like with David, he gets anointed, but then he goes back to the field. So he takes you into the season of, you do have the calling on your life, but I first just need you to wait for a second. I need to work on some other stuff. And then when he's working on it, there were times where I could feel, I still need to work on this. I still need to work. So the stage of my life where I am now, guys, I'll be honest with you, is the stage where I am now is at a spot where I know that God's not done with me. I know that I still have a bunch to do. I know that I still have a lot coming for me. But I've become content with just taking it at God's pace. Because I think when I was younger, I wanted results quickly and I wanted to see things happen. And that was good for the time because things were happening and I did see the results. And people were getting saved and there was a bunch going on. And like you say, lives were changed. And not just on the negative side, there are people who started their own ministries after that. There are people who are still saved. There are people who did things at their schools and people got saved. Started things during break in the classes or during the free periods in the classes and stuff. And people got saved. So you never know the ripple effect that factory had on people's lives. I don't know it. There was a time I was at Wombats, we were swimming. And my wife got out of the pool and she was walking to the changing room. And a girl walked up to her, yo, are you Xavier's wife? She said, yes. They asked, where is he? She pointed to the pool. And they called me, like, the same come. Yeah. And I went, they were like, yo, Zakes, we watch all the videos. Yo, thank you so much. This was at Wombats. I'm on holiday there with the shorts. My hair's all over the place. And, I'm dry. My skin is dry. I'm like, oh, wow, thank you. Like, can we take a picture, this and that? And And the point that I'm making with that analogy is that you don't know, bro, who's watching. You don't know, whose life was changed in the process. You don't know. But what Satan wants to make you understand is that you're useless. You're not changing your life. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Well, it's not that you change your lives. God changes the lives. Let's not even get that twisted. We understand that God is the main one who uses you. But God uses you. And when you're not in a dope space, then you become, difficult to be used because you're not where you need to be. You're not hearing him clearly. You're not doing what you should be doing. And then you fall off. And it's proven throughout the scripture. God can use whoever, but he wants to use you. So switch on.
Big facts, bro. I think, starting with this conversation, broski, we're speaking about the whole social media and just the IG presence and so forth. And we always have this chat, bro. What happens if, God forbid, tomorrow everything shuts down? And things can happen, like in the social, there's a big crash. Where's the parenting?
Google, I think they're big. They have different places where they keep all their hard drives and their stuff.
Bro. Picture all of that crashes, bro. And we always ask
the place burns down or whatever.
We always ask the question with and it's not just and it's not just women. I mean, guys also seek that.
In fact, wait, this happened to one of the social media influencers that we interviewed. He said he had 100,000 followers or something. And then someone hacked his account. And Yeah, and someone hacked his account and then he basically has to start from scratch. Sorry, but that actually did happen to someone that was about to get blue ticked and then they hacked his account.
Big facts, bro. So I'm basically saying your motive in life is so important because if it does crash, the system crashes and so forth are people still vibe with you or looking for that chick that took a top off and so forth on. And so I think your motive is
your motive is important. But that's key. But Jay, so that's kind of part of my journey and your journey. And like I said, guys, Jay and I just decided, look, it's festive time. We're gonna have a convo. We're gonna keep it real. Look, again, the show is not necessarily gonna be the complete hour that we always have. But we decided to come and have a convo with you guys and come and speak to you guys about these things. And so that's my journey. You can hate it, you can crit on it, you can say whatever, bro. It's fine.
Nah, big facts, bro. I think God really takes you through a point where it's like, hey, you know what, Lord, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. If not, it's not gonna happen. And I think that's where I'm at the moment as well. I mean, after dropping Purpose, when was it? 31st of December. We're actually coming to the 1 year anniversary of Purpose, bro. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine, broski? It was crazy, coming up with that project. But now I'm like at that point now, bro. It's like, hey, you know what? I'm growing up and everything. Clout doesn't really bother me or matter anymore, bro. So now it's like, I think God wants to take you to that place. Now I can use you. Now I can use you.
Maybe that's what God's trying to do. He's trying to get you to a place. Because this is breaking news. First time I'm confessing this. That to a certain degree, you do get caught up in the cloud. You get caught up in, I got caught up in.
Not facts, bro.
Showing up people know who I am. Coming to, especially church events. Yo, can you take a picture with you?
Which for me is cool though, bro, because I've always said this: you're never gonna be perfect for God to use you.
You're always gonna have your humanity.
So for me, it's like, yo, God, if you want to do it, do it. I'm never gonna be perfect. I'm never gonna have my my.
But I think there's some major lessons that you do need to learn. What do you think, Clay? They want to pull through and come say something here, bro.
Pull up, bro. I know Clayton's
pull up, bro. Clayton's one of those homies. He's always quiet, but then when he says something, it's like
pull through, bro. Pull through.
He doesn't want to. Unmute your mic and come in on the convo. But be that as it may, Jay, I think that's our time, G.
Big facts.
That's our time. And again, like I said, please hit the subscribe button. I don't know if that combo was a bit too deep for you, but that's what it is. I think that's a real combo.
It is.
Because I think a lot of us, we're seeking clout, we're seeking this and that. And in the end, what does it mean?
What does it mean, bro?
We going with this?
What does
What's
it?
the point?
And also, bro, I've always asked this question, bro, because it's like many times I speak to people and then they say it's like, nah, I want to see the promised land. I want to see everything that God has in store. And I asked, you know what? Are you content with God using your next generation, like your baby bro? Because you know my older bro, he's in music as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's a dope producer. And then you got me on the production side of things, like video editing. I would believe I'm dope at that.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the prophecy, I didn't mention that Ed Trout actually said there's gonna be a baby boy on the way as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when my baby bro Jaleel was born. But that was like years later. He's what, 12 now?
Mm-hmm.
And he can spit bars and stuff as well. Am I content with me knowing video editing and so forth, or my big bro knowing how to produce musically?
And then producing your baby.
And
bro.
producing my baby bro with what we know. I'm content.
Are you okay with that?
Of course. Of course, I got love for my little bro. And a lot of times people aren't content with that, bro.
A lot of times you want to be the one to get it done.
And it's like, nah, man.
But again, I think that's also how people get looked at. There's this Netflix series, The Godfather. I think it's Godfather or something. But it's somebody that nobody knows. But all the celebrities are like, yo, if this guy never walked into my life, I wouldn't be, Celine Dion. I wouldn't
Scooter
be
Braun
Whitney
Bieber.
Houston. I wouldn't be, P. Diddy. I wouldn't be Usher. I wouldn't be who I am if this person didn't walk into my life or connect me to this person or introduce me to that person. And sometimes I have that role where I'm not necessarily on the top of the log, but I'm the one that introduced so-and-so to this one. Or I'm the one who arranged that meeting. Or I'm the one where if I make the call, they'll show up because I'm asking. And so, it's again public perception. What is success? Is success the one that's on top? Success the one that's making the things happen behind the scenes? What is the success? Because we want to be the one on top. We want to be the one with the clout. We want to be the one that's seen. But many times the people who are seen says that I wouldn't have been able to do it if this person didn't introduce me to that one or take me there that day, or I wouldn't have met that person if I wasn't with Jakes that day, or if I wasn't with Jay that day. And are you content with being that person, the connector?
Not facts, bro. I think the main thing is,
tough
bro.
ones.
It's like, just know who you are, know your purpose, know your goal. I mean, we're living in such a crazy world now, bro. It's like, do you even wanna be that person? Because I know of a lot of celebrities that they up there, they trying their best
Just
now
trying to be normal
to
again.
be normal.
Because they're getting shots for the cars they drive, the planes they fly.
So it's like, do you actually
They
want
can't
that
even
life?
go to McDonald's now because it's like, people are going to ask for pictures, does that,
I think a better life is just
do
get
you.
some kids, get a wife, and just live
Just
peace.
do you.
Yeah.
Fam, that is our time. Thank you so much for joining us on today's broadcast. This, of course, is the Inside Show. And this is the Morning Shake with me, Xavier Hendricks. And, of course, my co-host, Jay Paris. And we had a dope show. Thank you so much for watching. Until next week, Monday. See you on the next one. Love you. Bye-bye. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to it.
Good morning to the folks. What up to the youngins, and bless up to the world.
And then Jay just put your info on blast like that.
It's what the people want to know, bro. My bad.
Nah, bro.